Hey, what's going on? And welcome to Strange Talk with Doc. I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off after this program, but I wanted to get this one in. If you need to reach out to me or you want to reach out to me, you know how to do it. I have my website attached to the link anywhere that you listen to this show. I would love to hear from you as always. Uh, my fan base, or the people who listen in, I can't call you fans. I'm going to call you listeners. I appreciate you each and every time you take the time out of your life to listen to me, somebody you don't know. And I can't even stress how much I appreciate it. And that brings me to the title of today's show. It's called Speak to Me. Now, the thing about telling somebody to speak to you, it's not so much that you need them to speak to you. What you need to do, and this goes for me, anything that I say right now, also, I'm reflecting back in a mirror to myself. So I'm not speaking just to you, I'm speaking to myself. When you speak or you have somebody speak to you, you must use the ability to shut up and listen so that you can hear what is being said, and you could also hear what is being unsaid. The things that are unsaid are very important. They are super important. You have to also listen so that you can learn to understand and not just reply or debate with whoever is talking. That is huge. Let me repeat that again. We learn to listen so that we can understand and not just have a reply or debate to what we just heard. We need to learn to listen to whatever our higher power is. We need to learn to listen to our spirit. If you are in the entertainment or any kind of business that has followers, likers, or subscribers, you need to listen to those people. You need to listen to your body. You need to learn to listen to your spouse. Please, parents, listen to your children. It's very important. Nobody else on this planet might not be listening or paying the proper attention to your children. And it's not the teacher's responsibility, it's not the neighbor's responsibility, it's not the people at daycare or after school program. It is the teacher's, your responsibility as a parent to listen to your children. Do not make them feel as though their voice does not count. Please. Listen to your family members. Listen to anybody who is mentoring you or teaching you. It's important to listen to your doctors, your medical, the people who are taking care of your health, dentists, eye doctors, physicians. Listen to them. Evaluate what they say and never forget. I'm going to stress this again. Listen to what is said and also listen to what is unspoken. Unspoken is very loud. Listen to your friends. Don't let their conversations just be dead air. Because if you need to get away from them, if you need to cut them off, the things that they speak will let you know what you should and should not do, who you should and should not have in your life. So we need to, when I say speak to me, that means shut up and listen to the voice that are coming in to your brain waves, to your earwaves. We had a tragic event in Dadeville, Alabama, at a Sweet 16 birthday party. As far as I know, 4 people lost their lives and 28 people were injured in this mass shooting. This is getting to the point where it's ridiculous. I mean, we can't do anything. People can't come together in any place anymore. You can't, I mean, this has to stop, man. Man has to look at a next man and see a human being, a soul filled human being, a person who touches other people's lives and whose life has importance. I don't give a damn what color. All lives have importance. And we have to start looking at people as our brothers, and we have to look at people as our sisters. Stop looking at them as some form of an as some point of an enemy or an opposition because there's color lines or barrier lines in neighborhoods. And this poor young fella, Ralph Yari, 16-year-old boy, shot twice in the head by a homeowner in Kansas City, Missouri. He was going to pick up his twin siblings. He goes to pick them up, obviously at a bad address. He didn't break the man's door down. He didn't attack the man. He just knocked on the door. And nobody should be shot, or nobody should be so fearful of where they live that they feel that anybody who approaches their home should be shot. This was a boy. I mean, this is going to be an ongoing thing in America, this trial, because this man will be tried. He will be charged. And, for the neighbors to not reach out and see a young man, a young human in need of medical assistance, but try to ignore him, shame on them, man. Shame on them. I finished up the Wu-Tang Clan's America saga. It's a very good series. It's a little bizarre at times, but it was a very good series. It lets you into some stuff that you might not have known about the Wu Tang Clan. And so I find it interesting. I give it a thumbs up. I also watched a documentary on this lady called Killer Sally. Killer Sally was a bodybuilder. She was married to a bodybuilder, a Mr. Olympia contestant, and a murder happened. And this is a three-part documentary about the events leading up to the murder, and then the trial. So I say if you get a chance to check it out, you got nothing better to do. I give that a thumbs up. The first two episodes were good. Third episode was a little rough, but you know what? It was the wrap up. So the USFL returned this week. I didn't watch any of the games, but this is just a heads up in case you are a USFL fan. And the Tampa Bay Rays set a franchise record. They won 13 straight games to open the regular season. They finally lost, so they were 13-1 as of then. We had Rory McIlroy withdraw from the RBC Heritage. Uh, Rory was fined $3 million because these were one of those events that it's a sponsored event and it's a part of their bonus. I mean, this dude can afford to take a $3 million fine. Boy, I would wish I had $3 million in totality, let alone enough to pay a $3 million fine. But Rory played horrible at the Masters. Like I spoke on previous, he talks too much. He needs to focus on golf. Uh, this is one of those events, like I said, he didn't even provide a reason for his withdrawal. I'm just not going to be there. So they're going to deduct this from his player impact program, which is some kind of bonus program PGA players are in. This weekend, we had a very good golf tournament called the RBC Heritage. Matt Matthew Fitzpatrick won. He had shot 63 on Saturday. He wound up beating Jordan Speed in a playoff on Sunday to win this tournament. Jordan was the defending champ, and he didn't get to defend his title because he kind of blew it on one of the playoff holes, and then Fitzpatrick hit a fantastic shot. I mean, this is one of those shots that you dream about that you'll never be able to make in your life, but this is what separates pros from amateur golfers. There was some real beautiful low score games. Two people at least hit 63. Amon Ra hit 63. Matt Fitzpatrick hit 63. I mean, that's tearing up. That's some tearing it up golf. This weekend we had Max Holloway go up against Arnold Allen. He defeated him by unanimous decision. That was a good fight. Edwin Barboza had a nice knockout in the first round. Ian Cooper Lyra had a knockout in the first round. Pedro Munez defeated Gutierrez by unanimous decision. Rafa Garcia beat Clay Guida, who I'm thinking it's about time that Clay Guida starts thinking about retiring. Brandon Royal defeated Mathis Nicholas by a knockout in the first round. Zach Cummins, who was on point, defeated Ed Herman by TKO, and they both retired at the end of the fight. Ed Herman is now 42. Zach Cummins was having a career fight in front of his hometown crowd in Kansas City, so he went out on top with the crowd cheering him. It was a nice sight to see them both drop their gloves in the ring because I believe it's time for both of them to quit anyway. Jillian Robinson did what I thought she would do. She submitted another young lady, and she did it in the second round. Denise Gomes defeated Bruna Brazil by TKO in the second round. In the rip-off of the night, Jocelyn Edwards defeated Luce Padaleva by split decision. And I like Miss Edwards, but she did not deserve this decision at all. This weekend, we got Sergey Pavlich is going up against Curtis Blades. This is going to be ESPN Plus. Uh, Brad Tavares is going to be on this card fighting Bruno Silva. Ricky Simon is going up against San Yudong. Uh, Jared Gordon is going up against Bobby Green. Bobby Green needs a bounce back after his last fight. So this should be a pretty interesting card. There's not like a ton of big names. So the NBA came out with their decision. They're going to fine the Dallas Mavericks $750,000 for conduct detrimental to the league in an elimination game. They sat most of their most productive players when they played the Bulls on April 7th to boost their chance to get a better draft position. Then they sat everybody again the last game of the season after they lost against the Spurs. Dallas should do their fans better. They should not have punked out and did this to begin with. Former Chicago, Charlotte Hornets forward Miles Bridge has been suspended 30 games. This was due to some domestic violence stuff that happened in June of 2022. He didn't even play the whole entire 22-23 season. He's a good ball player. And so the NBA said we're gonna suspend you 30 games, but 20 of those games are gonna go back retroactively to last year's being served. So when he signs with a new team, if he signs with a new team, he's gonna have to sit out a 10-game suspension. The NBA playoffs started this weekend. The Nets dropped game one to the 76ers. This is no shock, no surprise. The Sixers should be able to handle them quite easy. The Hawks dropped game one to the Celtics. No surprise again. The Knicks and the Cavaliers had a very good game. The Knicks beat the Cavaliers, and it was their first playoff road win in 24 years. 24 years. There are fans of the New York Knicks have never seen them win a road game until this weekend. The Warriors lost to the Kings, and it was the Kings' first playoff game in 17 years, which means it was their first playoff win in 17 years. The Lakers beat the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies look disjointed to me. They don't look as good as their numbers appear on paper. I didn't watch a lot of Grizzly games. John Morant's status for game two is in jeopardy due to a hand injury. So I think the Lakers now, I have to change my tune. The Lakers are going to actually beat the Grizzlies unless something dramatic happens with the Grizzlies' mindset, their style of play, and the Lakers are just too big and strong looking for them. I looked at the players as they played. Uh, the Memphis Grizzlies look frail, and the Lakers look like grown-ass men. The Heat beat the Bucks, but there's a backstory. Giannis Antetokounmpo was injured in the first half. He hurt his back. We don't know what that means going on. Now, the Heat also lost a key piece. Tyler Herro broke his hand in the first half. Now, if Giannis can come back, because these first round playoffs take forever. I mean, I think there's like 3 days between each game. So if this is just something that he needs to get ice, compression, soak in a tub, Giannis might be back. And then that changes really nothing. But, Tyler Herro will not be back with a broken hand. The Clippers took game one against the Suns. This is KD's first loss as a Phoenix Sun. And you know what? Kawhi Leonard is an absolute beast. He doesn't get the credit that he truly deserves. And you know what? The Clippers can beat the Suns. The Timberwolves lost to the Nuggets, and this wasn't even a game. And I don't expect this to be much of a series at all. Like I said, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off to recharge my batteries. I have some things in my personal life that I need to attend to, and doing a podcast and trying to attend to something that's a serious issue at the same time doesn't fly with me. See, that's a part of speaking to me, where I have shut up and I have listened to the situations and circumstances that are going on in my life, and they need to be addressed. They can't be ignored. They can't be passed over. This is a time where I have to Just sit back and learn, listen, move on, improving some things. And I hope that if you have an issue like that going on with you, that you would take the time, the energy, and put in the effort to make sure that you listen to everything that is around you. And I'm going to state those again. Listen to God, your spirit, your workers, your body. Listen to your spouse, your children, your family, your teachers. Listen to your mentors, your doctors, and your friends. And if you listen and you hear what they say and what they don't say, I think your life will be greatly improved. And I'm going to tell you, this is a very short show. I'm going to tell you, like I tell you each and every time, people, peace to you and peace to yours.